Katsu. Hello, Mr. Wonderful. Hello, Sappy. Welcome in. Hello, hello, everybody. Ooh. Oh yeah, we got a couple of overlaps there. Alright, well it's live on YouTube, but if it starts misbehaving, just let me know so that I can fix it. But I think we're ready to start. Hello, you got the immersive Suicune! Congratulations! Yog, hello! It's so good to see you. I don't know if you've seen Yog, but we have daily bugs that you can redeem now. There's an early bug and a daily bug right now. Hi, John. Hi, everybody. How is everyone today? Sorry I started quite a bit later. It was really hot, and I wanted to make sure that the computer wasn't going to immediately die upon entering. Last 3 minutes, 2 minutes to redeem an early bug. If you've redeemed a daily bug, the early bug is a separate one. I am really hot today. Especially today. I am so hot. I have an ice pack. I have ice burn on my legs. And I don't know if you can hear all of the fans, but there are plenty of them. Hi, Doug! Smoking Miska. It's been a while. Check out the daily bug. So it's in the channel point redeem section, and I am also gonna redeem mine. I got an Atlas Moth, and I am very curious. I actually didn't get around to checking whether everything worked after yesterday. It says I have 22. Let's see if that matches what it says yesterday. Okay, oh, it did. You can throw chickens. Oh, wait, did I get a gift sub to your channel? Or what? Oh, apparently I did. I can throw chickens indeed. Couple of your swallowtails metamorphosed and are fluttering around the garden. What kind of swallowtails are they? Swallowtails, I think, are one of my favorite butterflies in terms of like the patterns that they have, but there are also so many different sorts. I realize I need to straighten my desk a little. A black one. Suddenly stream is freezing. Is it? It's not on my end. Or rather... Oh. Thank you for the 40 biddies. Because yesterday, like, it was saying it was dropping frames. But it's not saying that today. Huh, okay. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Twitch. Not the first time that all of that has happened. But... Oh, I need to take my meds. 1 second. I was gonna say, med check, everybody. Here we go. Well, if you were behind that gift sub, thank you so much. If that was purely by chance, yay. I like it a lot. I do like my little chickens. Aww. If you don't go when taking your meds, did you even take them? Well, I'm trying to avoid going when taking my meds, because that means I probably dry swallowed them, and then that means I'm probably about to get heartburn from them. And that specifically goes for the sertraline, because it's like one of those coated pills or whatever, and it touched my esophagus the other day, and the flavor was awful. Oh, I did do that? Oh. No! Oh, no. Don't dry swallow an antidepressant. It's bad for your... I was about to make a... I'm not going to make the joke. Never mind. We are going to move on. I'm going to take my mind out of the gutter. And we are going to...
It's time.
It's time for Thank you,
Dago _HH just redeemed snail fit check. Spinning for 360 degrees fan cooling.
I was gonna say I don't have any other lights on right now, but I guess it might work. Also, don't dry swallow Zyrtec. I don't know. Is Zyrtec like an antihistamine or something like that? But I have not tried dry swallowing it. I also used to be able to dry swallow all of my medications. I love how everyone's like, shut up and stop talking about this.
Shackle just redeemed snail fit check. Air-cooled Doctor in S.
Sorry. Sorry. But yeah, I used to be able, I mean, I probably still can, but I've learned the hard way. Some just don't taste good. Others give you heartburn. It's just better with water. No, I think it's for the... I didn't say anything. I don't know what anyone's talking about. Also, my Tamagotchi is supposed to evolve today. Let me just make sure she... Yo! You found the early bug! Yay! And what's that? You got yourself an elephant hawk moth, one of my favorite moths. So I'm hoping it is going to turn into a butterfly today. Speaking of swallowtails and other ones. Shout out to the time you thought a large pill was a chew. Oh, I remember taking... What was it? I think it was like one of these cranberry pills that are supposed to like help ward off UTIs or something like that, or have vitamin C. I don't know, it was meant to be like women's health cranberry pill or whatever. I thought it was like you were supposed to dry swallow it, but it looked like you could chew it. And oh my god, the tartness of that squirt was again one of the worst things to have ever entered my mouth. I have a question. Most people think of tomato as a vegetable. What is an insect that people don't realize is an insect? I feel maybe silverfish, just because they are one of the rare insects without wings. Hi, Sinisterra. Hola, hola. Bienvenido. I feel like I get the opposite. I find a lot of people thinking things that are bugs, that aren't bugs, thinking that they are bugs, such as centipedes or woodlice. I remember a guy vehemently trying to get me to guess the one insect that had more than 6 legs. And I was like, well, by definition, there is not an insect with over 6 legs. So whatever you're thinking of is not an insect. And he was hell-bent on knowing more than me. And then later he was like, oh, it was the woodlouse. Sorry, you were right. I was like, I mean, I could have told you that for free. I have a doctorate in this, but... You haven't seen a silverfish in forever? I've seen a few recently enough. Maybe that just means you probably have no dark, damp corners in your house, so... Good. Tart is... No, oh, this was like... Tart, like it could have been battery acid. This wasn't like a sour candy. It was encased for a reason. That was a flavor that was to never encounter taste buds. I would have rather eaten a Carolina Reaper than that. And I have eaten 2 Carolina Reapers, and I never ate another one of those. I'm not going to tell you an insect knowledge ever. I just thought it was funny because he was like, oh, I really want to impress you because I know you know a lot about animals. I was like, maybe a better way of impressing me is like teaching me something I don't know than attempting to say that the stuff I do know is wrong. and then be wrong about it. But it's okay. A man assuming he knows more about something than a woman with actual expertise seems like someone should come up with a word for that. It's true, it was textbook. And I was like, my dude, you're not even a scientist. Your expertise is somewhere else. You could wow me with that instead. But no. Malik, I don't know what it was actually. Let's see. Like it's probably still in my closet somewhere, so I can find it. I don't want to, you know, much like we have the PSA for soap, I don't want to encourage people to, you know, chew on these pills. Anyway, I'm excitedly looking at my Tamagotchi. I don't know how long it's going to take for it to evolve. I guess let's pray that the capture card is working. And we can do the fit check. And then I was supposed to source the papers before starting the stream, but I was starting so late that I decided to put it off. I don't know, actually. I'm actually not a big, like, sour candy person, but I can see the enjoyment of it. What I experienced was, again, battery acid is how I would call it. Please eat soap, nice. Well, if you insist. No. Eat soup, not soap. Wait, what's your duck joke? It's clean? Sure. Tell me your duck joke. Is it a joke? Is it a duck that goes to the lemonade stand? To be fair, I don't actually know what battery acid tastes like. Also, hi, Nazi Geek! How are you? Thank you for redeeming your daily bug. And you might be the first person to get the earwig. Or at least no one had acquired the earwig yet, and unless it's been acquired earlier, you are the first person to get that rare bug, which means that all of the bugs have been redeemed by at least, one person somewhere. I'm now doing a quick check just in case someone else got the earwig, but I don't think I saw an earwig appear. So yeah, congratulations! Is an earwig a beetle? It is not. Earwigs are Demapterans, which derma skin terra wing, so they have sort of like skin-like wings because they're very small and they fold up into a 20th of their surface area. Okay, I have a little for everyone who redeems a bug the first time. Of course, there's a place on my spreadsheet for that as well. Battery acid is very, very dangerous, so tasting it would be the last thing a person would taste. I mean, I've heard horror stories of toddlers putting battery acid, or like putting a battery and swallowing it and needing to go to the hospital. So I guess they survived that. It kind of tasted good. I have made a potato battery and put that on my tongue, but that's not really the same as tasting battery acid. That's more having a little tingle go across the tongue. Very different, actually. In bug adjacent news, a bug themed... Wait, was that Silk Song? Because I've seen a couple of people mention that. And wait, did we say bug themed? Did we say bug themed? Open Steam. Cancels plans. Oh, it's the Hollow Knight Part 2. Yeah, I can see why that would crash Steam. Stream went funny, but it was Twitch's side. It seems to be being a bit weird to everyone, but it does actually say it's fine on my end. Unlike yesterday, where it really was testing all of us. Why did the duck go to jail? I'm trying to think. I'm like, prison, Hoisin? That doesn't sound similar enough. Did he go to jail because he was a quack? Did he go to jail because... for some foul reason? I don't know. Why did he go to jail? He was selling quack? Oh, it was a quack joke! Good one. Earwigs have half circle wings. What I know is that several space companies have been inspired by the wing folding of earwigs in order to design the sails that unfold for satellites.
It's time, it's time for a fit check.
One Mr. Hamill just redeemed snail fit check. Got a self fit checks instead.
I don't have specific memories of licking a 9-volt battery, but I feel like that's something I would have done. What a sentence to follow the fit check redeem. I guess now that I have, you know, a nice pack on my lap, I'm feeling potentially ready to do the fit checks. Yeah, I just opened it and it does say at the top Hollow Knight Silksong. I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was like a completely new release, and I was like, oh, how did they break Steam? I haven't played Hollow Knight yet, so it would... I feel like I should play... presumably I should play that first before Silksong. But I think Steam is working now, so... Yeah, fastest way to check how full it is. True. Where do bad rainbows go? To a prism! Is a light sentence, gives them a chance to reflect. Okay, that was good. I have heard that one, but that one was good. I think button cells are coated with a bitter tasting substance to stop kids eating them. As they should be. That would be quite literally a bitter pill to swallow. And go, yeah, what Shackle said. The most accessible method of check. Well, I mean, admittedly, when I've been changing the 9 volts in the smoke detectors, and they start beeping, then I know I don't need to lick the 9-volt battery to check its status. Wait, the Nintendo... As in, they pushed it to coincide or avoid the launch of Silksong? Again, I guess because even though I'm on Twitch, I'm not much of a hashtag gamer, so I didn't know all of this. Hi, Mr. Oh, wait, are you... I know you were here earlier, Mr. Wonderful, but thanks for redeeming your daily bug. Okay, I was like, maybe it would help piggyback if it sort of appears at the same time, but that makes more sense. Okay. Let's see if this is working and I can do the fit check. It is not looking promising. I'm just gonna do this for a second, see if anything appears. Okay. It is not. Hi! Computer, why you do this to me? I changed them yesterday. Are you saying I have to change them again? You'll lick a 9-volt battery. Do you like batteries? The battery would like to file a charge of human battery against it. Yay! Well, welcome. Okay. So once again, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Oh, wait, no. Was that? No, it's not working. 1 second. Oh. Okay. So I'm just plugging in the capture cards, see if anything changes. Because there's just no light on it now. No? Okay. Well, that's not boding well. Why is El Gato not happy with me? Heat breaks computer. It might, you know, it might well be heat stress. Which is annoying because I switched them around and now this other one is also not cooperating. Okay, I'm unplugging. Changing this around. And switching these around too so I don't lose track of them. Okay, let's try that again. If not, it's gonna be this one. I don't know. It could well be any combination. But, well, one capture card, just the light isn't turning on, and that does not bode well. And that was the one that I switched it to yesterday. So, I don't know. I will be writing a strongly worded email to El Gato being like, hey, 2 of your capture cards have fluffed out on me. I technically... Oh! I know what the problem is. Okay. I know what the problem is. It's gonna be fixed. It isn't plugged in. So, gotta give me a second. I was like, the light not being on is kind of weird, but indeed what Mr. Wonderful said is sort of true, and because of that I actually do have it plugged into different buses. Okay, please go in. Alright. Hi Shrill, how are you? Welcome in. Ooh, you got an aphid. Shockingly, the aphid was not pregnant. Okay, well, I've almost got this fixed. Sorry, the troubleshooting is intense. Hello, Stephanie. Welcome in. Congratulations on your cockchafer. All right. I think it should work now. And if it doesn't work, well. Enjoy this sizing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for popping in. It's always a delight to see you. Alright. Is it working now? Please work. It's got the right light on. But I'm still not seeing. Okay, it's working. Yay! We can do a fit check now. Thanks everyone for your patience. Now I just need to frame it properly because hello Owl, how are you? Welcome in. I'm pretty certain this is gonna cut my head off, so I'm just gonna check the framing. Oh, actually no, it's perfect. Okay. Alrighty. Thursday stream, I know. Well, it's because I didn't stream on Monday, so I thought I would attempt to, you know, do 3 days in a row. Unfortunately, whenever I do 3 days in a row, I then never sort of do any stream maintenance between the days, so things might be falling apart more by tomorrow. I mean, I've had bus problems before and fixed them. I wouldn't put it past some sort of Windows update changing the definition of how the USB bus works, but I do actually think that one of the capture cards did bite the dust in some way. And I haven't troubleshooted it. Well, that's not true. I've troubleshooted it quite extensively, but I haven't found the solution. Anyway, before my camera dies, let's do a fit check. So feel free to animated dance emotes. And I will see you on the other side and we'll do some science.
It's raining snails, oh what a sight. They're dancing on rooftops, partying all night. It's raining snails and what a delight. Sliding into discos, giving everyone a fright. They're on the dance floor, doing the snail boogie, wearing tiny sunglasses, looking kinda groovy. Humans join the party, throwing snail confetti. Everyone's slimy, but the vibe's so sweaty. It's raining snails, oh what a sight. They're dancing on rooftops, partying all night. It's raining snails and what a delight. Sliding into discos, giving everyone a fright. So next time it rains, don't forget your snail-proof jacket.
Also, I tried to do cute makeup today. By which I mean I also have this cute little necklace on that I got from a little Pasadena market. Hi, DeLonged! Welcome in. In Spain, we should shit on your deceased ones riding a horse to settle a small debate, and I think that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful too. Also, DeLonged, bienvenido. And also, if you have not claimed your daily bug, you should do so. Thank you, Mr. Swartz. I have a eyeshadow palette that's very bright and vibrant, and so originally I wanted to do a sort of pseudo poison ivy thing today. I have it's not the official poison ivy cosplay because I want to like do that on a day where I can stream all day and definitely won't be streaming the following day, yada yada, and you know, have it announced in advance so people can make it. But I was like, maybe we can do a teaser. But then the house was hot, so then I thought, I have this other cute dress which has a lot of butterflies on it, and it sort of looks like a Studio Ghibli style dress, but again it was hot, so I don't want to hear anyone complain about the clothes I am wearing. It's 85 Fahrenheit here. ¿Cómo andas? Hope September's been kind to me so far. Yo bien. Labor Day in the US was 1st of September, so I had a fun time at a wedding. And now I'm back in Pasadena, and there's a heat wave. So that's what I'm currently contending with. All I know is that 69 and under in Fahrenheit. Oh, I saw some frames drop. Is it working? I think it's working. Let me do a conversion. 30 Celsius. 30 Celsius indoors, which is not good. Yeah, that's unfortunately what I have done sometimes, Mr. Wonderful. The thing is, because this is a laptop, there are not actually many USB ports, but I did manage to scam it into working for like 8 months or so, so I suspect something changed in one of the updates, then it's not working anymore. I don't know. Yeah. And here's the thing, like, I don't usually mind the heat, but I don't like it for streaming because if it says it's 30 Celsius, it is always hotter here. Like, here is a good 3 to 5 degrees hotter than the rest of the house just because it's furthest away from where the central cooling happens. But also, and I don't have them on today, but usually I have a lot of lights on, so usually I'm like a little better, I'm better outlined. I'm not today because it's so hot, I'm not gonna turn extra lights on. Did you see them or did they drop? It said 1,400 frames have dropped, and now it says 1,800 frames have dropped, but the number is not going up. Yesterday, it was just that number was going up into the 6 digits, so it doesn't seem to be as bad as yesterday. Okay. But yeah, I do actually think what happened is probably an actual Elgato capture card issue, so one more admin thing for me to figure out that I have not done yet. Can you pick them up? Have you seen where they wound up? I don't know. I think they've been stolen by the current administration. They framed my frames for murder. What kind of science are we learning about today? I was actually literally about to say, give me a second as I pull up a few papers, because I'm going to give choices. Some are actually some of the papers that you all have posted in Science News because I had retweeted them on Blue Sky, which is really my way of I'm gonna go back and find this paper. Alright. Hardware debugging by melting them by usage. I mean, I had the PC turned off overnight, so I would have hoped not. Okay, so I'm pulling up the various options that I wanted to cover. Okay. So can I find all of these? Okay. So I know that I have more papers. I'm trying to find 4 so I can do a poll between 4 of them. There's one I can't find right now. Let me just inspect my Blue Sky. Because again, I have a vague recollection of like some of the themes that I wanted to cover, but... Ah, there we go. Okay. Alright, I have 4 paper options for you. Of honestly very different moods. So I'll create a poll in a moment, but one of them is called Periodic Excretion Patterns of Seabirds in Flight, which sounds ignoble worthy. It's just about someone who is logging how often seabirds shit whilst they're flying. Then there's one that the one that Dago posted that has been on my radar. It's from Georgia Tech. I love Georgia Tech's biomechanical research. They always have really interesting papers. And it's how water bugs travel on top of water and how they have little tiny fans on their feet. And a friend of mine actually did some like SciComp illustrations for them. So that's also one that could be neat to do. And then I have two that are AI related. One of them is an MIT study that talks about the accumulation of cognitive debt when using ChatGPT or another AI model for writing essays. So basically, how ChatGPT is making us dumber. And finally, also AI related, how LLMs, how large language models, transmit behavioral traits via hidden signals, aka how biases are propagated across models without it being noticeable to the supervisory humans, and why this could be a bad thing. So those are the 4 papers that I have. So, and I mean, I'm sure we have time to do at least, 2 or 3 of those. So I'm now going to run the poll. Which paper first? Seabird poop. Seabird pooping habits. Water bug feet fans. ChatGPT is making us dumb. ChatGPT is whispering to itself. Alright, you got 3 minutes to pick which one you'd like me to do first. Study science here, or study poker for a month-long festival? Ooh, I mean, that also sounds fun. After hearing that title, which title? I'm seeing seabird trekking poop. That one I feel like we could get through pretty quickly, because that one feels like a meme paper to me. Waterbug feet fan. I do have 3 fans pointing at me. I'm sure they would make me travel over water a la Jesus. The real question is, do seabirds poop in the sea? They do. Some say they shit where they eat. Okay, how... Oh, okay. A surprising number of votes for both ChatGPT papers. So we could do both of them. Which, to be fair, I was kind of thinking of trying to do both of those, like, as part of a theme. So I think we could do that. What about feet fan sounds like wiki feet for bugs? I mean, they gotta post their social content somewhere. Congratulations! Congratulations, Dago. I'm very happy to hear the defeat against the mosquitoes. Hello, Rallythune. You would argue that every advancement that alleviates a burden from us humans makes us dumber. How many people in chat can actually weave cotton into clothes or know how to dig a well for clean water? Excuse me. I know how to do those things. Not that I've ever done it, but I read about it in a book. ChatGPT told us to vote that way. I think it's... I would say there is like some mild... Because I guess people would say the same about searching things with Google, that then we're not committing things to memory. But I feel like there's a slight difference between, okay, sure. We definitely do have a loss in trade skills and dexterity. And, something like everyone's handwriting now is way worse than it used to be, because there are very few occasions where you would write something down by hand, and that actually affects a lot of people's dexterity. But I think there's a difference between knowing how to think about something, knowing how to deduce or derive something, but not necessarily having to commit all of it to memory storage or have perfect recollection of facts or knowledge, versus completely, forgetting or not knowing how to make an argument. Okay, so I'm seeing ChatGPT is making us dumb and seabird pooping habits as the top two, and then ChatGPT is whispering. So what if we could do both ChatGPT papers together first and then end on the seabird pooping habits, or we start on the seabird pooping habits as a meme and then do the other two? Do we think LLMs remove critical thinking? I think it depends on who is using them. And for a large sum of the layman population, I would actually say that it is. Because the number of people that I hear saying, oh, well, I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, ChatGPT is a large language model. It can't think for you. But a lot of people outsource the thinking to an AI model. And if you get in the habit of that and you're not actually thinking for yourself, then it is basically telling you how to think, and it's not something that you're exercising or flexing. Your handwriting is terrible because you're originally left-handed. Oh no! I can't... Is that still a thing where people don't want their kids to be left-handed? It's quite funny because I'm right-handed, but my mum is left-handed, and I actually secretly wanted to be left-handed so I could be like her. I am actually stronger in my left hand, though, so for some things I am left-handed. Opening jars, left-handed. Definitely a loaf you shouldn't pet if you have celiacs. Wait, I feel like I missed something there. The handwriting comment is definitely true for you. Sorry, I've scrolled up before going down. Also, hi Dom, welcome in. It's good to see you. Thank you for finding a lace ring in your daily bug, which, you know, just that mandatory reminder to everyone to redeem your daily bug if you haven't already. And again, here's the thing, and I will always say this when someone, especially in person, like asks me about ChatGPT and what I think about it. Like, in principle, I prefer not to use it, but yeah, congratulations on finding an aphid. I wonder if it's a pregnant aphid. Oh, it was not a pregnant aphid. So, in principle, sure, its energy cost is substantially higher than a Google search. It is not very environmentally friendly. However, it is a tool. There are certain domains where I can see it being something useful, like, say, medical imaging, in instances where it allows you to detect things that actually make a difference to someone's life. I'm not talking about super sensitive cancer detection where you wind up performing biopsies before they are necessary on somebody, but catching something that would have been overlooked otherwise. Hi Rebel, welcome in. So, you know, in use cases like that, I think it's excellent. I can see also how within coding, because, you know, coding is a language, and, you know, relatively speaking, a much simpler language than spoken human language. So sure, it can help streamline some processes there as long as you understand the way all of that pieces together. However, and what I think is irresponsible and is also being done deliberately, like the fact that every time you open a Meta product or every time you open Google, the first thing at the top is an AI blurb, unless you go to great lengths to make sure that it's not there. It's them essentially forcing that tool to get people to use it out of convenience. And so, you know, I always have to remember the correct percentage of that is actually not that high. Like, it's 80%. That is actually pretty terrible. I would not want to be relying on that. I would need to fact check it. This, in theory, should make everything a lot faster. But, you know, if you're an overworked person who's tired and it seems like this is saving you time rather than you having to search things, then it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's fine if it's wrong every so often, and it becomes a bit of a slippery slope. And then comes the point where either you're a teenager and that's all you've learned in school on, you know, how to prompt and how to use ChatGPT without actually understanding what a large language model does and doesn't do. My Tamagotchi's evolving. Just FYI. Is it going to be a butterfly? Please be the... It's a butterfly! It's a butterfly! Yes! Oh, she's so precious. Sorry, we're gonna take a break for something really important, which is my butterfly. She's so cute! Also, congratulations, Revel, on your cockchafer. Oh my god, she's so pretty. She's so precious. I love her. I love her so much. I love her so much. Okay. Thanks for coming to my Tamagotchi TED Talk. Let me catch up on chat. We do need people to put the text they're reading into context and take it with some doubt. The problem is that a lot of people don't. They're just like, well, the ChatGPT AI blurb said this, so they just take it as gospel. Or they did it to save time, and, you know, Google puts it at the top of your search results to essentially, you know, make it ubiquitous and force people to rely on it. With your left, you can use chopsticks in both hands. Ambidextrous. Nice. Like people expecting LMs to understand articles. Sorry, I'm gonna have to scroll up on chat on a separate side here. Oh, okay. I saw. Yes. Thanks, Aaron. Your handwriting was always bad. Oh no. Sorry, I realize I'm like on two different threads in chat, and I'm just doing my best to catch up. People are expecting LLMs to understand articles for them. Like there is that too. Sure, for very simple things, can it summarize things and generally be accurate? Sure. Am I gonna trust it with summarizing a paper to write a Draw Curiosity video? Absolutely not. It is not. It does not have the training to know anything of that. Also, like sometimes as testers, I've sort of like tested statistical things. Half the time, it's not actually giving you the right answer, but it sounds plausible. And the problem is, like if you're using it to simplify things that you already know, like sure, I know how to do long division, but I'm not going to do it by hand each time. I'm going to use a calculator, or I'm going to use a matrix formula in Excel, or I'm going to get MATLAB to do it for me. And that makes sense because it saves me a lot of time, but I understand the principles behind it, and I know it's a tool that I can trust. The problem is people don't really know how LLMs work. They're just made to generate language that sounds plausible. There is no element of truth to it. Like you can poison and you can trick an AI training model if you know how to do so, and then it will regurgitate information that is incorrect. But because it produces language that sounds human for someone who has not learned about matrix convolutions, which I mean, let's face it, not many people are gonna be learning about matrix convolutions, and no one's ever saying like this is what the model can or can't do. Like there'll be just like a little boilerplate, you know, don't trust it. But the reality is, if it's put there out of convenience, a lot of people are going to trust it and not question it, and are not going to develop critical thinking around it. Medical imaging is a very different sort of AI than LLMs, though. That's also a very good point. I guess I'm also trying to imply here, like, there's different types of machine learning that are at play. And the ones that actually do improve someone's life, and the ones that aren't being used for capitalistic gain, but are actually making the average person's life better, that I'm in support with. I also have, I have a lot of cynicism surrounding AI, which I'm sure we'll inevitably get to. But let me catch up. You're in downtown LA. How are you liking it? What are you up to in LA? Are you here for, is it like a conference or something like that, or are you just visiting? Use it as time saver only, and only when you can check it. You see, that is how it should be used. The problem is most people don't use it that way. If you understand how it works and you know how to, if you have a hammer and you know what kind of tool a hammer is and you're using it appropriately, then sure. But if you're someone who's, you know, using a hammer to slap your chicken to cook your food, then you're gonna eat raw chicken and you're gonna get poisoned. Somehow that metaphor works. It shouldn't have worked, but you detest them to generate stuff. As natural language processors are amazing, but you detest them to generate stuff. That's also how I feel too. Again, if you want to change the register of some language, or you want to save some time, but you know what to check for, sure. If you're using it like a Wikipedia search. And yes, I do agree, which I guess is why I'm trying to be specific about LLMs. Hi Savad, welcome in, how are you? Also, feel free to grab a dailybug if you haven't already. Google with -AI in the search bar. Yes, that is one way of getting rid of it. I do truly think that that should be something that you should be able to turn off as a setting. Like, not just that, but the fact that every time it does these prompts, that's the energy cost of 10 Google searches. And not everyone is using them or wants it. It clutters the page. Again, it should be opt-in, and it feels like the reason that they are doing it, you know, slightly nefarious. You've been using LMs for data aggregation, so you can just pull a piece of understanding data that you want. But it's not always foolproof. A friend of your father's is one of Brotan's best eye surgeons. I mean, yes, as Samantha did point out, the sort of machine learning that is involved there is a little bit different to an LLM. I am not the world's authority on different sorts of machine learning, but oh, sorry, I just saw for a moment. Twitch stuttered, but I think we're back. We're back. So an LLM is trained on strings of text and basically comes up with plausible ways that that text would come back together and sounds like human language. Other forms of machine learning, you give them a data set and it will, you know, it will be able to train itself on what the patterns that data set is showing you have, and will be able to detect outliers. Or it might have parameters that are, you know, such as in the case of corneal damage. It might be able to say, oh, okay, this is a thin cornea, this is abnormal here, this has been labeled abnormal manually by surgeons in the past, so they know what to look out for. And so then when you give them a set of easy parameters to measure, it will be able to detect those before one might physically be able to see. So that is an instance where a machine learning model operates slightly differently to LLM. I mean, at its core, there's a lot of machine learning in it. LLM is just like a very large-scale version of that, and with a very specific training input. Oh, yeah, you're right. The frames are dropping again. YouTube, just to see if it goes okay. Hi from the cat room. Oh my god, you're in the cat room. I've reached the part where Dr. Murrah subscribed. Thank you so much, which also... I'm going to adjust this so that it reflects that we got a tier 3 sub, and because Shackle will get on my case, for people subscribed at tier 2, you get access to my Instagram close friends for the months you are subscribed. For people subscribed at tier 3, you also get copies of the VODs for those months. If you are subscribed for tier 3 for 3 months or longer, you get all of the Instagram stories for that year. And if we ever hit milestones like 500 subs where we get photo shoots, etc., you automatically get those. Also, I'm very behind on posting the photo shoots, but they'll be going out really soon. I'm really sorry about that. But don't worry, it's coming. I finally bought more storage space in my Google Drive, and I just need to get them uploaded. I need to stream less so that I actually have time to do all of these other admin tasks. I'm feeling hungry, so you're going to use the OP move going to sleep to avoid eating more. Tetsu, thank you so much for hanging out with us. There's a high chance you might have already also gone to bed because I am extremely behind on chat. But thank you so much for hanging out. feel free to check the VOD if you're interested in any of the topics, and I hope you have a good time. Hello, Pry, welcome in. It's good to see you. Hello, your silly things are the best silly things. Aw, thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome in. It's good to see you. And also, feel free to remember your daily bug of Pry. These tools are turning people into tools. I know, right? I think you're a great writer. Thank you, Shackle. I'm a slow writer. I think that is my problem. But also, kind of interestingly, there have been a couple times. I remember a couple times when I was writing essays at Oxford, and like I misplaced where I had saved my draft. So I had to start writing it again. And then when I found it again, I basically converged on writing it in the exact same way. So clearly the innate LLM is also very coded in a specific way. I don't think I'm a stellar writer. There are some times. Nope, turn